What is up, guys? It's Paul, aka 90s Handheld Gamer here, and I'm on the way to work recording another one of these videos, but I wanted to have a discussion around game key cards. I even brought some in my car with me to hold up as some props for the video. I did spend my own hard-earned money on these game key cards, but I just wanted to talk about game key cards and what they made me realize, because game key cards have definitely made me realize that physical media is something that definitely is important to me. But at the same time, at the end of the day, as a gamer, I've realized that really the most important thing is just about having fun. So while I'm still more inclined to pick up true physical games, if there's a game coming out that I really want to play and it's not receiving a true physical version, and I can get it at a price that I feel is fair for the experience for the game that I want to play, I'm either going to get the game digitally or get the key card, because my only modern console is the Nintendo Switch 2, and I don't want to change that at all. I don't want to get a PS5 or an Xbox, because I really do spend most of my time gaming and handheld. And even if I didn't, if I just wanted to be on one platform, that's perfectly fine. I think any platform you game on is fine. I think all the console warring is pretty silly. And I even think all the format shaming is pretty silly. Whether you buy digital, you buy a key card, or you buy a true physical game, really the main thing that matters is the enjoyment and the fun that you're able to get out of that game. At the end of the day, that's really all that matters. And while I do prioritize having true physical copies with the game all on the cartridge, at the end of the day, you know what? These are all physical objects. It's all entertainment. And while, yes, we can create some awesome lifetime memories through this medium of entertainment called gaming, we're not going to be able to take any of this stuff with us, when our time is up. And all of us have an expiration date. And the thing is, we could be perfectly young and good health, and tomorrow could be our last day. And whether we played our games digital or physical or key card, I don't think that really makes any difference at all. And I think people going crazy over gaming going digital, like, yes, I completely get it. I'm not really with this model of, you're going to own nothing and be happy and all that either. Like, that sounds, pretty crappy, like a pretty crappy future where you can't own the things you buy anymore. But at the end of the day as well, I think there's so many more important issues and topics to be upset about. Like, I think money going all digital is a lot more serious and something to be worried about, opposed to all digital video games. Because once money goes all digital, I mean, you won't even be able to sell a video game without the government putting their hand on it and taking some tax out of it. I mean, you could possibly even be banned from using your own money if you say something that the government doesn't like. I mean, this kind of stuff is happening in China already. So yeah, I'm an advocate for true physical media, but when it comes to gaming, I don't think it's ever all that serious. And I think at the end of the day, the fun and enjoyment that we get out of these games should always be the top priority. But I won't lie, like, even though I've bought some game key cards, most of the time what I'm doing is waiting for them to go on a sale, because digital isn't my favorite format, and that's kind of what a game key card is. So I'll usually just wait for them to go on a sale that I feel is worth it, since they're not wanting to offer me a true physical, or in some cases, they say they can't even offer you the true physical. The director of Final Fantasy VII Remake said that the game key card was, pivotal for the performance of that game on the Switch 2, as well as the people that worked on Star Wars Outlaws. So, I mean, some people could say maybe they're not optimizing their games enough, or maybe they're lying, but I really don't see why they would want to do that. I think if they could, in a perfect world, get everything running on a true physical cartridge, I think they would, because I think sales would actually be better at the end of the day if they went and did that. But another point I want to make about the whole key card and true physical game thing as well is that I realized as a gamer that I really just want to have the best experience possible while playing my games. For example, Pac-Man World Repack 2, that game went on sale for $20 on every platform. So I had the choice between the Nintendo Switch 1 true physical cartridge or the game key card. And you know what? I was happy to go for the key card because the reason I bought a Switch 2 is to take advantage of having a more powerful system. So why the heck would I want to stay behind and keep buying Switch 1 games that are going to look low res on the handheld screen? They're not going to be able to perform the best they could opposed to the Switch 2 version. So you know what? Yeah, I got that Switch 2 version so I can enjoy handheld 1080p 60 frames per second, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I don't care who judges me or who would say anything about it, because I'm not buying these games to impress anyone or to show off to anyone. I'm just buying these games to have fun, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters. And I just want to make the example actually of some physical games that I skipped out on because they didn't do them right for the Switch 2, and one of those games is Yooka-Laylee. I was so excited to hear that that game was getting a true physical copy, but then it turns out that, I mean, hopefully this will change. I hope by the time I put this video out, this would change, but turns out the devs won't bother to put a 60 FPS game mode in a Switch 2, a console that's more than capable of running that game at 60 frames per second. So I feel like if they were gonna have that game at 30 FPS, they could have just re-released it for the Switch 1. I'm not going for that. And another release I want to talk about that got a true physical copy was the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection for the Switch 2. I was excited to pick it up, but then I heard, you know, the game had a lot of issues. There were a lot of lag issues. The games weren't running the best in this collection. Not only that, but they charged an extra $10 for the Switch 2 copy, and it wasn't even complete on cart because Mortal Kombat 4 had to be downloaded when you could buy the PS5 version. I think it was all on the disc on there. So the fact that they wanted to charge an extra $10 and they didn't put the work in to make sure this was completely on cart was a shame, and I'm not going to support that or what they did with Yooka-Laylee. I mean, bring that crap up to 60 FPS. That's what I bought a Switch 2 for. You can make it physical all day. If your game isn't well optimized for the console like it should be or complete on cart, when you want to charge a premium for putting it on the cart, I'm skipping out on that crap, and I'd rather go and buy a cheap game key card of a game that I want to play over those games anyway. But anyway, this is just another one of these quick discussion videos that I'm getting out on the way to work right now because, yeah, I just kind of didn't manage my time the best this week as I got a tailgater right on my ass as I'm driving, because that's all anybody and everybody ever wants to do driving on these roads. I mean, I don't care though. They can have their fun if they want to crash into me. Sorry, guys. But yeah, I didn't manage my time the best. I've just been having to work a little extra to make some money, you know, because everybody's got to survive out here. And as the good word says, if a man isn't willing to work, he does not deserve to eat. But I really do appreciate you all watching this video. I want to know if you're a Switch 2 owner or someone who's primarily on Switch 2, what are your thoughts on the physical and game key card situation? Feel free to talk to me in the comments. I'd be glad to have some conversation with you. I really do appreciate you watching. If you would, please help me out in the algorithm by hitting that like button, that subscribe button, hype button. I don't know, I might have said all that a bunch of times. I feel like people are watching me recording my video in traffic now that I'm at a light, but I really appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.